Music educators are overworked with the number of responsibilities they have both inside and outside the classroom from work week to work week, and it quickly leads to burnout. This is an issue because over time it can take a toll on the teacher both on and off the job, adding unneeded stress and anxiety to the music educator's already stressful day. The amount of responsibilities put onto most music educators' shoulders is more than most people could ever handle on a day-to-day basis. Mr. Brendan Walter, a music educator at Southgate Anderson High School in Southgate, Michigan, said in an interview that one big contributor to burnout is the fact that his job requires him to always be aware, focused, and listening at most, if not all times. Critiquing and figuring out how to fix music in band class, marching band, and many other programs every single day takes its toll on the brain and leaves music educators mentally drained. Then they must repeat the process every day, including weekends, for marching band competitions, rehearsals, and other programs. One of the biggest reasons that this is such a problem, according to Mr. Brendan Walter, is because he gets paid by the school district for a 40-hour work week. This would be fine if he only worked 40 hours, but there are some weeks where Walter may work 50, 60, or even 70 hours. He is compensated by his program's Band Booster Board, which handles fundraising, planning, and everything else behind the scenes related to band programs, but it is much less than what he is paid by the school district. This is one big factor that plays into the problem of burnout amongst music educators all across the U.S. Out of all who may be affected, music educators are affected the most since they are the ones putting in the effort to teach their students to the best of their ability. Walter stated in his interview that the results of pushing through these issues manifest themselves both physically and mentally. The number of hours music educators spend standing in the classroom around the marching band podium conducting in front of students takes a toll on the body, and by the end of the day, the educators are physically drained. There is also the result of being mentally drained due to the fact that the nature of a music educator's job requires them to be focused and thinking or problem solving on the fly all day. In a quote by Bernhard, he stated, "While no significant differences in burnout were reported based on grade level taught, beginning teachers reported high levels of burnout than more experienced teachers." This quote gives some hope to future music educators, showing it gets better, but in reality, nothing changes, other than the educator's ability to push through and manage the burnout. Students are indirectly affected because as a teacher continues to become more burnt out, their teaching may not be what it normally is. According to Mr. Brendan Walter, he notices that his creativity and fun personality in the classroom tends to be affected the most as he becomes more stressed and suffers from burnout. The difference in teaching and personality can negatively affect the student's educational experience and how they enjoy the class. Those indirectly impacted can also be a music educator's family or significant other. They are affected because of how little they are able to see the music educator due to their busy schedules. Walter stated that a lot of the time he leaves home when it is dark out, and by the time he gets home again, it's dark. Being gone all day long again and again can start to take its toll on relationships. Walter stated that if steps aren't taken by school districts to address the overworking of music educators, it could severely affect the enrollment of students in music education degree courses. This means that fewer students will choose to pursue this career once they see the amount of work that goes in just to constantly struggle with this problem. Walter stated that he has already seen music educators who just started their careers switch their careers due to stress and burnout. This will continue to become worse if the issue is not addressed. There are many possible solutions or fixes that can be used to address the issue of burnout. One possible solution or fix to this issue would be to hire more educators in the music field in order to spread all of the responsibilities out amongst them. This then removes the issue of burnout and allows the educators to work together to create a better band program for their students. This solution brings on a bigger financial burden to the school district, but has shown to create better and more well-rounded band programs for students in states such as Texas, Indiana, or California. While this solution is the most expensive and not particularly realistic currently because of the funding cuts due to COVID-19, it is the best possible solution to help burnout amongst music educators while also creating a better program for students. A second possible solution to this issue would be for districts to start paying their music educators for all of the hours they work outside of the classroom, including but not limited to marching band, winter drumline, winter guard, and pep band. Many students do not pay their music educators for hours spent teaching outside of the classroom. The money for the hours spent teaching these programs come from yearly dues students must pay to take part in them. While this fix won't get rid of burnout, it will allow music educators to feel as though they are being fully compensated for all of the work that they are doing instead of being paid much less. The financial part of the solution would fall onto districts to pay music educators for all of the work they do for students in the district, like most, if not all, already do for sports teams. And a third possible fix to this issue would be for districts to allow band programs that are normally competitive every year to take a break every few years. By doing this, it would remove large amounts of work and prep from music educators' busy schedules and thus helping to relieve burnout. Being a competitive marching band requires rehearsal space, staff, equipment, transportation, and much more. If band programs were to take a year off every few years, it would end up saving money rather than costing districts more. Any one of these solutions could be applied in districts across the country in order to help fix this issue.